Morning to my dear students and welcome to our social science class. So yesterday, in the previous class, we talked about the private health sector. So today we are going to start with a new topic, that is healthcare sector in India. So even the facilities which are given in India are they equal to everyone? So let us know about this topic more clearly, that how different class of people experience the medical expenses, whether they can bear the expenses or not, right? So let's start the video. Please go through the video very properly, and if there is any doubt, feel free to ask me. Thank you. Have a nice day and God bless you.
A very good morning to my dear students and welcome to our social science class. So in the previous class we came to know about the private sector and what are the demerits and also the merits of private sector. So today we are going to study about healthcare and equality. Is adequate healthcare available to all? It means that whether in India everyone is getting equal amount of healthcare services or not. So let's see what does this context says about. So in India we face a situation where private services are increasing. Already we know there are many hospitals who are based on private sectors, right? What is then available to people are mainly private services, and these are concentrated in urban areas mostly. We can also see in Guwahati that many hospitals are there which are under private sector. The very known hospitals are nearby our school only, that is Pratiksha, then we have Gate Hospital, we have Apollo, we have Medicity, Health City, etc. The cost of the services is rather high. You can compare just you can ask someone who have visited GMCH, which is under government's uh, services, and someone who has went to private health sector. You can just compare the prices. Even the registration fees is much more in private sector. Leave about the treatment. Medicines are very expensive. Many people cannot afford them or have to borrow money when there is an illness in the family, right? So what happened, even though people are rich, but then these places are so very costly that you have to spend all of your money, and sometimes if there is any crisis of money, you have to borrow from your family members at the time of illness. So some private services encourage incorrect practices to earn more. I guess you have heard many cases regarding doctors that because of money they kept a dead body in the hospital for 2-3 days in ICU. So something like that can happen in any private sector to earn money. At times, inexpensive alternatives to available may not be used. For example, if one medicine can treat a patient, but what happen in private sector, they will try to get more expensive one rather than getting the inexpensive medicine. For example, some medical practitioners are found to prescribe superfluous medicine, means costly medicines, injection or saline, when simple medication may suffice, right? So it can happen because there is a target that for this month we have to reach this target. Hence, we have to, prescribe medicines which are of high cost according to the private doctors. So here is one more thing. The Medical Council of India's Code of Medical Ethics states every physician should, as far as possible, prescribe drugs with generic name, and she shall ensure that there is a rational prescription and use of drugs. Generic name means what? It should be the medicine should have proper composition, and also from which chemical component it is made from. Like they should not prescribe so high and in expensive medicines. Rather, go for a minimal amount of medicines where everyone can buy.
Even only 20% of people can afford expensive medicine during their illness. So, hence, for those whom one might not think as poor, medical expenses cause hardship. Even though they are not poor, but because of the expenses, they can also go through some hardship, financial crisis, right?
So it was reported in a study that 40% of people who were admitted to a hospital for some illness or injury have to borrow money or sell some of their possessions to pay for their expenses. So what happened in way of treating their patient? Sometimes they also have to sell their land, their properties to pay the hospital fees and expenses and to bear the expenses. Now, people who are very poor, for them, illness means a state of anxiety and distress, worry, afraid. They're scared because of the medical illness. So, those who are poor, they are first of all undernourished. They do not get as much as they should eat. They do not get necessities like clean drinking water, adequate housing, and clean surrounding. Even that is why they are more prone to illness and they are more prone to fall ill. Expenses on illness make their situation even worse, right? So sometimes it is not only the lack of money that prevents people from getting proper medical treatment, but sometimes what happens, specifically the women category, they are not prompted to take medical facilities because most of the time women's health are being ignored over male. Women's health concerns are considered to be less important than the health of men in the family. Many tribal areas have few health centers and do not run properly. Even private health services are not available. So these are some of the drawbacks of healthcare sector in India, where every person is not getting equal facilities and equal treatment. You can see who are rich, they are getting equal treatment, they can bear expenses, but people who are mediocre and very poor people, for them illness means a nightmare. It becomes a nightmare for them because the mediocre people, they have to sell their property, etc., and for the poor people, they, for them it's like difficult to bear the expenses of medical